Shifting focus for now, Pakistan's borders are rumbling and so is its political landscape. Under siege from just about every direction, it seems, Islamabad is now staring at the grim reality of a possible multi-front war against external enemies, insurgent proxies, and internal unrest. The fragile state is once again caught between fire on the front lines and fury on the streets. Take a look.
Pakistan is being crushed from multiple directions simultaneously, and the pressure is mounting by the hour. The Taliban ceasefire is a fiction held together by desperation. New Delhi has made it crystal clear. Operation Sindoor, India's calibrated offensive against Pakistan-based terror groups, is not over. It's merely paused. One wrong move, one terror attack crossing the border, one provocation, and India unleashes hell on Pakistani terror sanctuaries. Islamabad dreads this. A fragile ceasefire with the Taliban government in Afghanistan is barely holding after cross-border attacks and deadly exchanges of artillery fire. Islamabad accuses Kabul of harboring Taliban-Pakistan militants, a group that has already conducted thousands of attacks across the border. Islamabad fears that the Afghan Taliban could once again unleash the TTP as a proxy, a move that could plunge northwestern Pakistan back into a battle zone. Then there is the most dangerous front, the fear of an internal collapse. Pakistan's provinces are once again on the edge. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan has called for massive protests after Friday prayers over the Muridke Massacre, where government has, according to Pakistan media, censured the number of dead. Imran Khan, in his X handle, has said the number of dead are anywhere between 400 and 600. The streets are simmering, and there is also the Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, a hardline radical group which is once again stirring anger in Punjab. The provincial government now wants to ban the TLP, but that move risks further unrest. The group still commands thousands of loyal followers willing to fight under its banner. A military stretched thin, an economy in ruins, and political fires burning the streets. Pakistan's stability now hangs by a thread. Multiple fronts, one fractured nation. The storm clouds are gathering, and Islamabad is all set to collapse again under the weight of its establishment or the Army General, which has failed it more than often. Bureau Report WION World is One.
Barely 3 days into the ceasefire, Israel-Hamas situation already threatening to reignite the 2-year-long war. Hamas has handed over the remains of 2 more Israeli hostages and says it cannot recover more bodies without specialized equipment, leading to strong reactions from Israel. Israel's defense minister, in fact, has issued a stern warning that if Hamas fails to return the bodies of all the dead hostages, the Israeli military will resume the full-scale operations in Gaza. Katz's office released a statement saying Israel will coordinate closely with the United States to ensure what it called a complete defeat of Hamas. According to Israeli media, Katz has directed the Israeli Defense Forces to prepare a comprehensive battle plan to quote-unquote defeat Hamas if the ceasefire collapses. Katz reportedly issued the directive after a high-level meeting with the IDF Chief of Staff and senior generals. Israeli Prime Minister has issued a warning of his own, in fact. Speaking at a state ceremony, Netanyahu warned that Israel will achieve all goals of the Gaza war it had laid out. Listen to what he said.
Whoever raises their hand on us already knows that they will pay a very heavy price for their aggression. We are determined to complete the victory that will affect our lives for many years.
Netanyahu reiterated that Israel is committed to bringing all the hostages back until the very last one. Under the first phase of the peace deal, Hamas has to return the remains of 28 deceased hostages. So far, Israel has confirmed the return of 9 bodies plus one that it said did not belong to a hostage. And in the latest, Turkey has sent 81 disaster relief experts to the Gaza Strip, some of whom will reportedly help with finding the remains of the hostages.
Oh, calma.
The ceasefire brokered by US President Donald Trump has seen Hamas release 20 surviving hostages in exchange for nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners freed from Israeli prisons. But with each passing day, the deal grows shakier. In an interview with CNN, Donald Trump said he would consider allowing Netanyahu to resume military action if Hamas fails to fulfill its commitments under the truce. That statement adds even more uncertainty to an already fragile situation. For the Palestinians, the cost of the 2-year war remains unimaginable, to say the least. Nearly 68,000 Gazans were killed during the war, and according to UN estimates, around 92% of Gaza's homes either destroyed or heavily damaged. According to the United Nations, nearly 55 million tons of debris throughout Gaza needs to be removed in the first phase of the reconstruction of the enclave. Amid the ruins, questions have now turned to what comes next and who will rebuild Gaza. In Ramallah, Palestinian Prime Minister said that the Palestinian Authority plans to work with the global partners to tackle Gaza's enormous reconstruction, governance and security challenges. Mustafa further said that Egypt is likely to host an international conference next month to coordinate the rebuilding process. The conference, he said, will help decide how donor funds are managed, who oversees them, and how aid will reach those most in need.
Hopefully, in the coming month, November, Egypt will convene the Gaza Reconstruction Conference in Cairo. This conference will serve as the central platform for mobilizing international resources and partnerships.
Tonight, uncertainty continues to hang over the ceasefire. Every gesture of peace seems shadowed by distrust. Every promise risks being broken. And for millions in Gaza and Israel, the hope of lasting calm and peace remains just that, a hope on the edge of war. Our next story is from the United States. It's about two realities taking shape there. Two contrasting realities simultaneously unfolding in the United States, involving billions of dollars. We are talking about the US government shutdown and the massive ballroom at the White House and a gala that took place. Let's just break it all down for you. The 2-week-old federal government shutdown may cost the U.S. economy as much as $15 billion a week in lost output. That's what a Treasury official has said, basically correcting an earlier statement from the Treasury Secretary that put the cost at up to $15 billion per day. A Treasury official saying the cost estimate was based on a report by the White House Council of Economic Advisors. Earlier, remember, Besant told a news conference that the shutdown was starting to cut into the muscle of the American economy. He had said the wave of investment into the U.S. economy, including into AI, is sustainable and is only getting started, but the federal government shutdown is increasingly an impediment. And that says a lot. Meanwhile, something else has been happening. Remember the massive new ballroom at the White House we told you about earlier? President Trump on Wednesday welcomed nearly 130 donors, allies, representatives of major companies for a mega dinner at the White House to, in a way, reward them for their pledged contributions to this massive new ballroom at the White House. The ballroom comes with a huge price tag, now estimated to be $250 million. In fact, it's the most significant renovation that Donald Trump is undertaking during his second term at the White House. All four sides of that ballroom, which Trump said will be large and grand enough to hold even a presidential inauguration, will be made of bulletproof glass with its color, window shape and molding, keeping in character with the White House. Trump indicated that the fundraising and managing costs for this ballroom were going well, predicting that he would have money left over after the project is done. Those were the images that came in with several big wigs in attendance. The new ballroom is planned for the area where the East Wing is located and will basically encompass 90,000 square feet. The White House has previously said it will have a 650-person capacity. But Trump on Wednesday night said it will be able to hold up to 999 people. This project is yet to receive approvals from the National Capital Planning Commission and the Commission of Fine Arts, reportedly, although a White House staff secretary, who was also tapped by Trump to lead the Planning Commission, has said that approval is not needed. The commission wets construction of federal buildings. The president, remember, has repeatedly complained that large White House events require construction of a tent on the South Lawn, since the East Room, presently the largest space there, can accommodate about 200 people. That's not all. At the dinner, Trump also formally unveiled another project, an arch that will stand on one end of the Memorial Bridge, which crosses the Potomac River and connects Virginia and the District of Columbia. In fact, he showed off several miniature models of this proposed arch, which will feature Lady Liberty on top in 3 sizes. And Trump said the largest was his favorite.